discussion and debates. First session and second session together. Questions?
Maybe I would ask our colleagues from Ravne because the idea of schooling is also Slovenia coming from Ravne because the Ravne was the background of the from Weizmann. Back in the I was just trying to ask you about that 1559. Were the system implemented in the schools? Because in our land they just remained in the ideas, but let's say import from your part were implemented in what was the result of it, and till when? Then you said that then after that the gender separation went on in the next centuries. When did you have attendance of then girls in school, in compulsory schools? Just comparing from our land because they come from your land.
Girl in schools till the great church regulation till 1559, but it's only an idea. There was not the bureaucratic system to control if the girls or boys went to school. So I think at 1629, one understand all schools and boys, all people had to go to school. This was fixed, and the girls.
That's right.
She likes the part.
Yeah. Okay. Girls' education, we have to differ between public school system or private school system. So in the private school system, you have girls' education. I think starting up in the 15th century, but it was the state controlled or state schools for girls. They were implanted in the 19th century, and in Württemberg in 1877 there exists a first higher girls' school, and which was Zveza.
And my question for you is the theory of power of Foucault. You have in abstracts order of things, of course, famous books, and these three concepts. The first is archaeology of knowledge of Foucault, and the last concept is similar to disciplinary societies, and the state powers is growing, and these three regulations. Yes. How with these three regulations we connect with the relation state and family, state and church, family and church, and how this changing in these conceptions.
That's a difficult question. I wrote it maybe in the text, but I think the poor family had to go to school. This was the idea of the regulation at the first time. And the question is the definition of poor. What is it? I don't know. This was the regulation for, I think, the most for the agriculture grower this regulation, but it only was an idea and not. It was to build up and to grow up within that. The rule of the Duke was important because he strengthens the role of all these ideas. So I think there is an important connections to the structure of the social structure of the families with this idea to get this connected, the regulations with the family structure, so you can make the rules for going to school or what they have to learn in the school. I think they have to learn writing, and that's enough in the first step. In the last regulation, I think there is a little bit more. There is more discipline in it, and there is an idea of the state, and that's the connection to the family. Maybe like this, I try to answer the question.
Okay.
I would have two questions for colleague Kucic. I'm more interested in the schooling system of the Ottoman period. Could you tell me a little bit more about first the writing, the Arabica? Arabica. So was it really like the Arab alphabet, using consonants and then the points for the vocals, or was it letter-based like alphabet?
Yes, Arabica is a very specific script. It is a script, the one literature in Bosnia, so-called Alhamiyado literature, was written in Arabica. There is no one kind of Arabica. There are many kinds of Arabica. Arabica is a result of the many endeavors of Bosnian people to speak and to write in mother tongue. But the alphabet is Arabic with the some changes with the some
Ne reci, pa ćemo probati prebisati.
Pokušavam sa nekim glasovima koji nemaju u arapskom. Da. For example, P.
But it basically works like the Arabic way of writing.
Yes, but for example, the letter P also was written in the Arabic. And related to Arabica, there is one interesting situation. After the Ottoman period, when the during the Austro-Hungarian period, the number of persons in Bosnia were considered as unliterate, but because they didn't know Latin or Cyrillic alphabet, but a lot of these people were literate because they know Arabica and wrote letters, documents, books in Arabica. Especially Arabica was very interested script for women in Bosnia.
For women?
Women, for women love poetry. My grandfather, she is grandmother, yeah, but the grandfather, he is 1905, she is 1903. Yes. They write Arabica in New Day and write a book in Arabica from the Ottoman period, from the Austro-Hungarian period.
And then I would have another question concerning the mekteb schools. What was the content? What kind of content was taught in those schools? And I guess just for boys, right? So was it a religious context or?
No, mektebs were the school for the child in early period. For example, something like as New Days first 4 classes in contemporary time. And mektebs were attended by the girls and boys in the same time, and during the Ottoman period the main content was religious content. But beside the religious content, there were a lot of the science in this time, of the science, astronomy, penmanship or calligraphy, and during the Kingdom of Yugoslavia there was an agreement between the ulema images. It is presidency of the Islamic community during the Kingdom of Yugoslavia and the government of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia that the every child must go to the Serbian mekteb 3 years before starting of the primary public school in Kingdom of Yugoslavia. 3 years before starting primary, of course, Muslim students. Yes, but sorry, what's your name? I want to write your name in Arabica. Karen.
So that we will see. Yes.
So it's still in use today?
Da, in Arabica. Karin. Arabic letters, but Bosnian, Slovenian, Serbian language, yes. I apologize because my very limited English.
And you said some examples, for example, in the beginning of the 19th century, we have гражданка, царь
A little bit louder.
In Lithuania, we have гражданка. It's Lithuanian words with Kirillitsa. Because Lithuanian language is absolutely different. It's not Slavic language. But in science, there is the Russian government is forbidden Lithuanian books. And the books was printed in гражданка. It is the same. It's similar like Arabic, because it is one language and different letters.
Or for some time the Austrian government wanted the Ruthenians to use, instead of the Cyrillic alphabet, to use the Latin alphabet.
So, one more thing. Mektebs existed today in contemporary time. It is special religious education, but not in the school, then in the mosques during the weekend.
Sunday school.
It is optional for the notion.
Thank you.
Okay, I will skip to the first panel. I have one very particular question about the gentility reform. Considering the private schools. On this western part of Slovenia, there were some private schools. For example, the schools of the Poor Sister of the Notre Dame. Did this reform influence these private schools? Okay, religious church schools.
About private schools, Slovenia private schools like the ones of the St. Cyril and Society were closed. And the same in South Tirol for the Schulverein. Private schools were permitted in Italy. With statal control. So the programs had to be checked by.
It was the same as before the Italian government. What about the personnel of the schools, these private schools? They have to teach in Italian language or?
They have to be to attestation. And as for examination were started. So private school presented their students like private testing. Okay. But the commission was not.
Next question, yes.
I will skip to the presentation of my neighbour, and I found this very interesting, and I would like to know if you could establish a connection between what we find in these school regulations and sort of general political or religious ideology. Like you gave us a hint with pietism, but is there more to it? And if so, is there a top-bottom relation between ideology and these school regulations, or is it the other way around, that we just construct some ideology or political ideas from these school regulations?
I think the idea of making school is based on religious side. So it's like German to say the books are from religious, the Catechism, the New Testament. There's the basis of the content, and the other side is to make dialectic, and the dialectic is from the church. And I think this is the connection. First, the church, and after this, the regulation. And I think this is in the first one. In the second one, I think, but I don't know, I have to analyze it once more. I think there is a turnaround. Okay. But nevertheless,
That's a preliminary fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Maybe I would ask Andrea, those quotations you made, was that discussion went on publicly from journals, or which sources did you use, or was also something mentioned, for example, from the municipal governments or regional governments? Which sources you?
About this particular case, I have only the newspaper, but the question was debated on the political level. In Gorizia and Trieste Sur, there were Italian political majorities that used to hold Slovenia.
Okay. Thank you very very much.